The America First movement, if it's going to be a long-term legitimate movement, it's not balancing.
Mm.
It's completely disconnected from the balance.
Mm.
You know, we have this comment, one day we'll have to explain the Pashtuns and the Republicans, the Democrats and the...
Go ahead.
Nah.
Go ahead.
It's too deep.
No. It's a perfect segue.
You mean the
To
outer...
Alexander Dugin and the nuclear war.
The outer bastion of the... Well, see, the Pashtuns, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We got to go back, look at the Professor Penn podcast on Ronald Reagan, where the Pashtuns were in the White House.
The Mujahideen.
They were there.
The great Jack Posobiec tweeted it, and he said, oops, that picture.
Oh, Reagan I was up before Jack. I'd like to think Jack was watching the podcast, but Jack got his own thing going on. But yes, they actually showed up, started under the Jimmy Carter administration, because, there was the great invasion of Afghanistan by the Russian Empire. We called it the USSR. That was branding. It was the Russians. Fuck this USSR thing. It's misleading. So the Russians invaded Afghanistan because it's a very critical transit point in Central Asia. They put a guy in there named Najibullah, their own little kind of rump dictator. And he was a Marxist Afghan, which pissed off those Muslims. Because, hey, they're real clear on that kind of stuff. You don't believe in Allah? Off with your head. Another group, convert or die. Anyhow, the Pashtuns are the predominant group in there, and they went right on the payroll of the CIA, and that's where Osama bin Laden came from, because we, the people, paid to train these folks, not because we gave a shit about the Afghans, because we wanted to throw the Russians out of Afghanistan, because it was the great game, the great power game. And of course, as soon as the Russians lost, we abandoned Afghanistan. We just pulled out, left all this weaponry there and money there. Oh, didn't we just do that again recently? In other words, like they had a beta program, and now they had a, actual deal.
2.0.
It's like incredible how this stuff repeats itself. And then they use that weaponry to take over the country. 9/11. And for those of the people who think 9/11 is different, fine, let's just stick with the narrative. It was Osama bin Laden. But he was on the CIA payroll. Now, he was a Saudi, but who he was leading...
He was Yemeni, wasn't he?
No, he was a Saudi.
No, I think he was...
You can look it up. His father is one of the most important Saudi businessmen. His father built all the infrastructure.
No, I know they lived, but no, he was a Saudi national. He was.
But they were Yemeni by birth?
Yemeni ethnic.
I wonder what that has to do with the Houthis and the blowfish.
Probably a lot.
We probably need to look it up.
Maybe, yeah.
But the point is, the Pashtuns, which were the primary ethnic group in Afghanistan that the CIA funded, that's just like the Republicans. They were defending the empire. Right? So we got to look deeply into what the fuck is going on. Like I said, a bombshell, and it flew on by. What I said was, everybody, we have this lore that 2 American presidents died 50 years to the day after they signed the Declaration of Independence. 2 of the most important figures in American history, which, of course, we're not taught about. Adams and Jefferson. Can't get, you could just spend the next year reading Jefferson's letters. They both died on July 4th. And we go, oh, that's great. No, this is how Satanists operate. Their goal is to reverse Christ. The establishment of America was a repudiation of the divine right of kings in its alliance with the Catholic Church. America was established as a Protestant nation, protesting the imposition of a group telling people how to think and to live, like we're living with now. We got a group telling us now how we're supposed to think and live. The American experience is a repudiation of that. It's about personal freedom. Freedom. And what do the Satanists do? They kill both of them on the same day to reverse that freedom process. And if you go back and look, we had a bunch of presidents that died mysteriously in office, like Zachary Taylor, died just soon after being inaugurated, and his inauguration address was a repudiation of the Europeans. James Monroe, the Monroe Doctrine, died in office. Why? The Monroe Doctrine was a repudiation of the crowned heads of Europe. So we have this beautiful window of opportunity to be free, and we're giving it up because we'd rather get high.